Okay, I keep trying to make this video, I'm gonna get further away from the camera, and I'm too tired and I'm not making any sense. So I'm gonna try really hard to be concise, but I'm not good at that. So first of all, I'm in Jakarta, I'm in quarantine, which yes, I'm smiling about because it means that I did everything else until this point right, and somehow got here, made it like to Indonesia through immigration, to quarantine, and now I'm here. So I'm one step closer to Bali. Very, very close to Bali. So let's talk about where things I've done since the last video. So in the last video, it was all about like the visa stuff and the basics of quarantine and what you need to do. And so just to kind of like say what you need to have when you fly so that you have everything in order. That wasn't a sentence, but that's what I'm talking about in this video. I'm sleep deprived, guys. Sorry, deal with it. So I'm not being like crazy to have a folder with all my stuff like every passenger did. So just, you're not type A, you can still be free-spirited and live in Bali, but have a folder, guys. Organize all your stuff. And in that folder, you want to have your negative PCR test, which I will talk about in a moment, a printout of your hotel confirmation showing like that you've already made your reservations, which you should ahead of time. And then what else do I have? So negative PCR, your visa. So there's the visa in English and in Indonesian. I printed both of those. And you want to have a printout of your ticket or some proof of a ticket that leaves Indonesia within 60 days of when you enter. And I'll talk about that in a moment too. Did I get everything? Gosh, I really don't want to forget anything. I don't want to have to redo this. I'm not redoing this video. If I forgot something, it's going to be at the end of this video. I think I got it all. Okay. So, and obviously, like, your passport, I don't think I need to say that. Okay, so you have all those paper. We printed that out. You have that. Let me talk about PCR real quick. So PCR within 72 hours of departure. Okay, so it was really expensive to get one that was a rapid one. Where I live, it was like $200. So I paid $89 and did one where I did the test one day and then you'd get the results the next day by a certain time. So I did that, and I wish I wouldn't have, because I saved money, but then our flight ended up getting delayed by 3.5 hours, and there was talk of us having to take another flight the next day, and I got so stressed out. I was so stressed out over it. So yeah, I honestly, if I could do it again, even though I did make it here, but like in hindsight, I think I would have just done the more expensive test, so I would have more flexibility with when I could fly if things went wrong. Okay, so that's the PCR test. So PCR within 72 hours of departure. Now here's the weird question. Is it 72 hours from where you first left, or is it 72 hours from like your last flight before you got to Indonesia? And if it's the latter, then like how much time are you allowed to have in between the flights? What happens if you leave the airport? There's a bunch of like bleh with that. So I don't have an answer. The Indonesian website just says 72 hours from departure. I've heard all different things in forums. I don't know. I would just go as close to it as you can, making sure you get the results in time. This is a pretty stressful part of it. Okay, so that's negative PCR. The travel out of Indonesia within 60 days. So immigration actually didn't ask me this, but when I boarded my flight through Japan Airlines to get here, they did. And they like wanted proof, and there was a misunderstanding, and for a quick minute they didn't think I had it, and they were like, okay, you need to book it now before we let you on this plane. Like, you need to have something booked before we let you get on this plane. So you do that. And whether you want to like book something with American Airlines, they let you cancel within 24 hours or something like that, do your thing, do what you got to do, but just know that you should have something, because again, stress, like it'll just be easier if you get asked for it to have it. Immigration can ask you for it if they want. What else? So there's not really anything to say about hotel confirmation. I mentioned that in the last video. Pick a hotel. There's like a list. There's a new list, I think, that came out a few days ago. If I find the link, I'll put it below. And then again, there's that review of different hotel lists that I made below, that people are contributing, like putting what they thought of the hotels. It's like a crowdsourcing thing. You have all that, go to the airport. Did I miss anything? I'm sorry guys, I'm tired, I'm trying. go to the airport, check in. Japan Airlines asked me for everything. And they went through all of my paperwork. Oh, your e-hack. Well, that's not a piece of paper you need to have, but you should do your e-hack ahead of time. And then screenshot the QR code for it. Because that's all you need. They just want to know that you have the QR code done. And while you're at it, let me find the paper. You want to write down somewhere on a piece of paper, have written down your passport number, your flight number, your final flight number, and the address of the quarantine hotel you're at. And I'll explain why in a second. Okay, so then you get on your flight, you do your thing. Hopefully you don't have delays like I did. And now you're at Jakarta, you're deplaning. They've already given you your usual customs form that like everyone gets, right, anytime you leave. So you already have your customs form, you'll fill that out. And then when you get off, here was the surprise one for me. The first thing they did was have you fill out this paper. They'll give it to you there, and it asks for your name, your age, your sex, your passport number, your flight number, and the hotel that you're staying at. And then they have you sit in these chairs, and they don't give you a pen, so have a pen handy. And then basically whoever gets done first gets to get in line first. So that's the reason I say like have it handy, because like, right, everyone's always racing for the immigration line. So then you'll go from that, then have your phone ready with a photo of the QR code. I mean, have the app too, but like just to save time, have the QR code ready, and she's going to scan or look at the QR code. And that's the first line. And then you'll go to the next line, which is where they check your PCR, and they legit want to see it within 72 hours of what I still don't know, but there was a lady in front of me that they were giving a pretty hard time to, because it sounded like hers was expired because of the delay that we had. She cut it too close, so do keep that in mind. So that line, then have your PCR paper ready, do that, and then that same paper that you were given, they'll check something else off, and then you'll just walk over to this next checkpoint, and then they check that paper and wave you on, and then you go to immigration, and they just asked me, why are you here, or why are you coming to Indonesia, and how many days are you here, or how long are you here for? And that was it. And then he didn't seem interested in asking any other questions or whatever, waved on. This whole process that I'm talking about was like 15 minutes tops, 15. And so then I was like, woo, I'm doing great. Then bags took like an hour. And so we were waiting for the bags, and then after that was customs, which was like pretty much non-existent, maybe because it was the middle of the night and just our flight. But we just like, I'd have to declare, just got waved through. And then I was like, okay, I'm done. This is great. Yay. No. The whole hotel thing, I think because there's been people that have broken the law and ditched quarantine, they're so strict about it now. So you go out and it's like military people everywhere. And I was gonna try and film it for like this, but I got scared, so I didn't. And then you just like say what hotel you're with. You find someone that's with your hotel. There should be a driver waiting there for you. And then he asks to see your passport. You show him your passport and your confirmation thingy. And then he takes your passport. And this is, everyone's reporting this. This is what they're doing now. Because they don't want you to ditch quarantine, they are taking your passport right then. And then when they do this, they take a photo of you as they're taking your bags and doing this. So they want photos of you. And so there's this guy running around just like snapping photos. I was like, oh, this is cool. Why is he? Oh, it's like government. Anyway, I thought it was like him being friendly, but now I'm embarrassing myself. I'm gonna shut up. Okay, anyway, I thought it was weird. I didn't know why. He wasn't in like military gear like the rest. But then there were like multiple checkpoints. Where they checked the same thing over and over, checking our passport number, where we're staying, just military dudes everywhere. And then we like eventually, after like 3 different places, got to the car. The rest was easy breezy. Took ages to get here. I'm not gonna say what hotel I'm at just because like I don't know. I'll say later in the comments or something. But I feel like I'm probably gonna post this before quarantine's over, so I'm just gonna. Anyway, so got to the hotel, super easy. Just checked in. They had a reservation, and just nothing really to say about that. And just washed our hands, took our temp, and then took me up to my room, and that's it. And that's where I am now. And I will say that one thing that surprised me was how. If you have questions, you can ask me in the comments, and that's all I got. I'm sure I forgot something. I'll like add it somewhere in this if I did. But so next time I see you, I will be in Bali, and I'll let you know how it went from quarantine to Bali, how I got like the cheapest way to get all of my bags safely to Bali, and just navigating that process if anything was weird. And yeah, okay. I'm trying to wave. I always wave my videos, but I think it's like not the cool thing to do. Bye guys!